Hello, this is BJ from Hearns, and today I'm going to be talking about the Molotow range of chrome pens. Now, the Molotow range is really a game changer. When we first got to play with these, we were amazed at how easy they were to use and the results that it could achieve. Now, chromes in the past required like specialty paints, black basing, and then you have the chrome paint that goes over the top, which is a bit like the Alclad type method. I think Spastics have a similar type of system, and there's many other brands as well. But for simplicity's sake, good quality chrome straight out of a pen without special preparation, Molotow's way. Now you'll see that there's 3 different kinds, and I'll go through them in a bit more detail later. So they're different sizes. This one here has got the 1mm nib. This one here has a 2mm nib, and the larger one has the 4mm nib. So obviously the nib size controls the fineness of the flow on the pen. And we'll have a closer look at those nib sizes as I'm demonstrating them. Now, as you see here, we've been playing around with it on different surfaces. So this is the effect that you get just on cardboard. That's a white cardboard, so it's not on black. And as you see, this is on black. Now, the visual difference is negligible. So it doesn't need to be black based. White turns up just as well. And the amazing thing about this stuff is it self-levels. So it always gives you this mirror type finish. Okay, this is the same sort of thing on figures that we've painted for a while. Okay, no special preparation. This is odd brown coloured plastic. And then you'll see here we've got this really great reflective nature. And here is when we rubbed it with our finger. Okay, because like most chromes, these should be fit either in a spot where it's going to be not often handled, because it will dull if you do that. So you just make sure it's at a point where it's either sealed with a sort of clear glass, like you're doing reflectors in a car or reflectors in an aircraft, or it's at the final part of your model where you're not going to be handling it. So just to give you an idea on an actual reference that I've made. So if you look over here, so the framework on the broken umbrella, that's all Molotow chrome, so it has that luster to it. And then also this part here, the pneumatic wrist on the robot, and you can see how glossy that is. And then when you compare that to the factory finished chrome here, it's really no difference when you have a look. Most people, when they view the model, don't even know that that's a painted finish on the wrist. So that's how good it can be. Alright, so let's get into some demonstrations here. So I've got an arrangement of different coloured plastics, different shapes, and I'll also do some clear as well. So it's interesting how it reacts with clear through both sides. Okay, so let's just crack this one open. So this is a 4mm. So as you can see, it's reasonably thick. So obviously you get the most out of this one. Now to get them flowing, you just need to pump it a few times, and that'll get the ink flowing. And you might just see it here, like that. There's a little pool of it. Okay, let's start on a new piece. Alright, so here's a bit of white card, and we'll just make this pool here. And as you can see, you'll see it starts to swirl to begin with as the pigment moves around, but as it settles, it'll give a very smooth finish. Now obviously with a marker, it's not going to be as smooth as say a sprayed finish. Now Molotow can be airbrushed as well. You can get it in a refill type. You pour it straight into your airbrush cup and sprays out, and it'll be totally smooth, and you won't have these sort of brush marks. But for smaller areas, even the smaller brush marks doesn't really matter. So that's on the white, and you can see that the reflectivity is very good. On the black, it's probably more noticeable because you've got a black background. The same sort of thing. So the luster itself isn't any better. It's probably a bit more noticeable because there's a contrast in the black, just around the edges. So it's pretty impressive. Okay, so let's just pop this here. Now, because it takes time to level, it does take a little while to dry. So it needs to be left for quite a number of hours, 3-4 hours, even overnight is best. So apply it and then don't handle it until the next morning. Okay, so let's try on some plastic now. I'll do it on a large area so it's a bit noticeable, so I'll do it on this panel here. So just on a light grey. That's the finish of that one. Right there.
Yes,
and then on the red, which will probably be a bit more noticeable.
My name is Marvin. Yeah.
Like so. I'll just layer that over the top so it's a bit easier to see in comparison. And then this one's actually a transparent blue. So we'll do it over here. See if I can cover a bit more area, because I'm going to flip this around and show you what it does on the other side. Okay, so there's a reflectivity of it by itself. And when you flip it around, it might be a bit hard to see. Because it's a darker blue, probably needs a bit of light directly against it. But that'll be like a reflector there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave that there. You can see how the mirror finish is coming through. Alright, let's do it on a bit of clear. So imagine you're doing the lenses of a car model. Now you can either apply this onto the lenses directly, or if it's like a lot of the Tamiya type models, I'll have a molded reflector. So you just paint the reflector first, put the glass over the top, and you'll get this reflecting through. Or if you've done the lens directly, it'll look like this.
Yeah, totally.
So it's not quite as chrome, but it's still a decent silver finish for a backing. Like so. Okay, so you've seen that's a 4mm that I've been using. Okay, so just to give you an idea, I'll show you the other sizes in comparison. Okay, so this is the 2mm. Like that. And this one has got the 1mm. Okay, so you can see how much smaller this nib is to this one. Now with the 1 and the 2mm, these are actually the same pen with the same amount of ink inside them. It's just the nib which is different. And the nibs I do have as a separate item, like that. So they're the 2mm. So with the nib, I can just gently pull it and it pops out. So let's see if I can get that done a bit better. The whole thing should come out. Here we go. And that's a whole nib. So that's a 2mm nib. So you could actually get a set of 2mm nibs, a 1mm pen, and swap between the two, and it'll be a bit more versatile. Like so. So they're very handy by themselves. Now, for instance, if you've got areas which are recessed, such as on the edges on a piece of plastic where the nib won't go inside, it's very easy to actually decant the ink out, and you can use a brush. So let's just grab this one here. Okay, so all you need to do is we'll just do the same thing. We'll pump it a few times here, so you see that I'm collecting a pool of it. Okay, so it's just like making a little a palette. Got my brush. So just put your brush in there.
Oh yeah, but I've had a bit of exposure to mini tricks.
Okay, and then you just brush it as per normal. So as an example, you see this one here where I used a 4mm. Can actually get into these areas here. So you just brush it on, just like so. And when you brush it on, you want it to be quite a heavy layer, because if it's too thin, it's going to look patchy. And because it's automatically going to level itself, it doesn't matter how thick you put it on. Like so. So you can get it into all the little nooks and crannies. I mean, even this corner in here, just like that. So simple as that. Now after you've finished using the brush, then the Molotow, being a alcohol acrylic, just washes up in any standard alcohol-based acrylic type thinner. So this is the GSI one. It works exactly the same with the Tamiya type, or even lacquer thinners. It's just that lacquer thinners can be a bit harsher on brushes. So if you've got this, just clean it out and a bit of thinner, like so. Rub down here. And you can see, comes up perfectly clean. Yeah, we'll just wipe that clean there. And that's pretty much it for how to use Molotow pen. So it's not just a pen by itself. It's easy to use with the nib that comes with. If you need to decant it, you just pump it out onto say a bit of card and then brush paint it straight on it. If you want a smoother area or it's a larger area, then this is what the refills look like. So it's basically the same ink. Unscrew it, pour it straight into the pot of an airbrush, and spray it as is. Now with these, it's important that you don't thin them, because once you thin them, the properties change. So this needs to be sprayed as is. I guess that's pretty much it in a nutshell how to use Molotow Chrome. Molotow do also have these empty pens. So if you want to put your own paints in them, these take any type of paint, as long as you thin it down to a flowing consistency like you use in an airbrush. So you can put lacquer paint in it, acrylics, enamels. It's up to you, and these come with a 2mm nib. So they're really handy too. So if there's particular colours you like to use all the time, you could even put a wash in these if you like, and just pop the wash down in certain areas. They're really good. But all in all, as the chromes go, can't go wrong with these chromes. I use them all the time. If you want a super mirror finish, then of course you can use the alclad type stuff, which will give you your perfect mirror chrome finish on a large area. But for areas which are fine, say pinstriping or chrome trim on the side of a car, around the windows, little details like I've used on my model here, nothing is better than the Molotow Chrome. So I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, and please leave some comments if you've got any questions down below, and we'll get them answered for you. Thanks for watching.